Hello, everyone. My name is Darius Sias, and I'm here to talk about the criminalistic perspective regarding the future of crime. Um, the way I see it, crime is basically it's going to always exist. It's always going to be there, um, whether we like it or not. It's basically how the world um, has the way of natural selection in a way, as well as that's my perspective, as well as you're always going to have issues with social classes, clashing between the two. The poor trying to get to where the rich is, and some speculation the rich is trying to keep the poor down, and the ever disappearing aspect of the middle class. Um, as far as crime and its advancement, technology is going to play a major role in that, due in part that we're going to have more people, more smart criminals per se, um, being able to manipulate um, more systems, especially from a internet aspect. There's going to be a huge spike in identity theft. I feel like, as I read it with one of the theorists, identity theft is going to take a huge spike in the in different sorts of crime categories. Organized crime, or criminal organizations, I would like to say, they'll still exist. Like I say, it'll be just on another higher level. You always got to be smarter than whoever's trying to oppress you as far as these criminal organizations, and they're always going to try to look for ways to necessarily get what they want the way they want. Um, I feel like in a way that um, Georgette Bennett, I would like to say, I don't want to butcher her name, but there would be a huge decline in street crime because I feel like as time goes on, we're constantly trying to prevent a way of crime going on in our streets and everything like that. And as the streets are becoming more cleaner per se, that leaves opens up the door to more white collar crimes as far as you got businesses out here, with Ponzi schemes and all kinds of um, crimes that's being done within the corporations, and having them being associated with criminal organizations. Um, Males, I believe, will particularly even out. Uh, Women and the elderly will even out the characteristics between the age groups as far as how crime is done. Right now, males are dominating that, but as time goes on, you know, just like women want equal rights, there's going to be some women that's out there that want to be able to gain those same opportunities and um, benefits through those negative actions per se. Um, but like I said, as far as going back to the whole city aspect, I feel like we will have safer cities due to the ongoing research and um, attempts at keeping our streets clean. But like, that does open up the smaller cities, as Ms. Bennett had um, spoke on, as far as how crime is going to happen anywhere regardless. So if the more beneficial crime fighting occurs for the city, it really opens up the door to the rural and the smaller towns of that sort, unfortunately. Also, but one of the main things that I worry about is that in the future that we're going to have so much focus on the future or the preventing of crimes, we're still forgetting the aspect that there is a big problem regarding our prison system. And our last discussion question, it just comes down to that we had to answer as far as the prison system and the juvenile detention centers. It's going to be a continuing problem because we're going to have the same criminals going back in and coming back out and going back in again because we're not necessarily changing up those type of systems instead of trying to find crime preventing systems. We have to be able to help and support and counsel and try and change the mindsets of people that's already in jail so that way they can necessarily become better people, and as well as trying to have better programs, get the government to necessarily sponsor better programs to try and help transition these supposedly newly reformed individuals to get accustomed with society during that time. So that way, they can, see an upside to life. They won't have to resort back to their old ways because right now it's unfair to them because of the fees that they have to necessarily pay once they get out, the parole officers, the time that's get taken out of their life after imprisonment because they have to, keep a close tab. The police and other agencies have to keep a close tab on these criminals after they leave the jail. And um, the employment opportunities are horrible because once an employer sees that you have a criminal background, you're pretty much 9 times out of 10 knocked off with any opportunity of real employment. So we have to do better with necessarily transitioning these ex-cons into society. That needs to be the plan for the future as far as preventing crime and understanding crime, as well as we can, once we get those people going, we can worry about, those first-time offenders or preventing first-time offenders by educating people and, giving people at an earlier age the benefits and opportunities um, that are more legit and respected and positive for the community than the negative ones that we get